it's me, Ian. Welcome to Help! My school trip is magic. Our magicians are no longer supply teachers. They are now masquerading as staff in some popular attractions. And because we know you know them, we've disguised them even more. We've secretly filmed the results with special hidden cameras. Let's see what's coming up in today's show. Fergus runs rings round this school trip to the museum.
There he is. Thank you, Alexander.
James can't stand keeping the secret in tricks of the trade. You've been sending in all your best magic tricks, and later on I'll be picking my favourite. It's the wannabe wizards. And the class don't know where this trip is blowing when Catherine lets rip with some musical magic. Do you think you'd be able to tell if your school trip was magic? Do you? When it comes to school trips, John's always on the ball. And this ball's about to become, that's right, small. But plenty of big surprises to come. This is year 4 bundling on their bus. They are going on the road for a school trip, but they've been led up the garden path as this is a school trip with a difference. Yes, it's a day of school. Yes, it's educational, but it's also magic. Oh no, we didn't! They won't know what's hit them on their trip to the Jeffrey Museum. Named after a former Lord Mayor of London, it's a museum showing how the interiors of homes have historically reflected changes in society. And it's time to change the exteriors of our magicians so they won't be recognised. The museum contains front rooms ranging from 1600 to the present day, but we're going back to a time before TV and it's going to be a big wind-up. The school are wending their way to the scene, but what can they expect from our leading men today?
For the class today, I'm going to be Jerry Farthing, who's Victorian, but he's a little bit more working class. You know, he's a little bit more, now then, how you doing? Sit yourselves down. Yeah, I'm sort of more of the butler character, and Fergus, who's playing Alexander Ball, he's more of the squire. You know, so he's in charge of me. Although we'll see how that works out.
I think we can see who the boss really is in this corridor of power. No time for slow coaches. They better bust and move because the bus has arrived. The trippers are sitting outside the historical sitting rooms and drawing the old drawing rooms. Let's hope they don't waxwork out that that's John sitting there. Meanwhile, Fergus is doing a little throwaway trick to test everything's working. John's joined him now and he's running through his vocal warm-ups. Is he for real? Aye. And if my eyes don't deceive me, they're the kids.
My name is Jerry Farthing. This here is my squire. This is Sir Alexander Ball. We work here at the museum telling people about the Victorian era.
This is John's audition as a butler for Downton. He's doubling up with some magic later, though.
Now, of course, in the Victorian era, you know, they didn't have television. They had no television. They had to entertain themselves in different ways. They used to play games.
Bit like when John was a boy.
They played games outside, like football, they still had that. But in the house, in the parlour, they used to play parlour games. Parlour games? Of course. They used to have games like this. We've got things like Ludo and Snakes and Ladders and drafts and all sorts, all manner of games.
All real Victorian-era games, but Fergus is about to play his magical game on them.
Well, now the Victorians did love a jolly good puzzle. They couldn't get enough of good puzzles. And what I have here is a Victorian puzzle mystery box. The box can be entered from the sides, the front, and the top. The first part of this particular mystery involves 2 pieces of rope. One white, one red. Now, what I'm going to do is place the pieces of rope into the box, and I want everybody here to keep your eyes on the ends.
Fergus's posh accent knows no end, but I'm keeping my eye on the rope ends.
Can you do that for me?
Very good.
The class are psyched, but wait till they get a load of this.
Watch them closely. So, the middles go into the box, and they come out the top, and the ends stay outside. Now, some of the more astute of you in the class may have noticed the middles of the rope have linked.
I'm astute. How did that happen?
Despite the fact that those ends never left your sight, so those middles pass through each other, absolutely bamboozling, completely bamboozled those Victorians. And you can see they're properly linked.
The ropes are linked, but they missed it. There's more to come from this box of tricks.
Have a look at that rope there. Have a look at that rope there. Just see if it pulls apart. Are there any funny bits in the rope? No. Lovely. Well, if you pass me back the rope.
They've examined the ropes, but there's nothing ropey about them.
Well, if it's not the ropes, it must be the box. There must be something else hiding in the box. Absolutely nothing. No extra pieces of rope. No funny business whatsoever. This makes the second part of the mystery completely confuddling. A real mind messer. So if we take the white rope and the red rope once again, we'll pass these into the box and pass them through the top. So here we go, just like so. Now at this point, some of the Victorians would say, hey, I bet those ropes are already linked, but as you can see, nothing has happened yet. Now, I will need 2 volunteers to come and help me hold one end of the rope each. Who would like to come and help me? Yes, let's have you. What's your name?
Ruth.
Ruth, will you come up and let's have, what's your name?
Iggy.
Iggy, you come up. Round of applause for the 2 volunteers, please. Round of applause.
Assisting in magic beats homework hands down.
Lovely. Now, Ruth, I'd like you to, with one hand, hold both the pieces of rope, and Iggy, I'd like you to do the same. Lovely. I'm going to place this quill. The quill's a thing that they used to write with back many years ago, before the invention of pens. I'm going to place that in between the ropes. Could you lightly pull both your ropes, very lightly, gently, just pull them out through the box. Lovely. So you'll pull your white rope, Iggy, and you'll pull your red rope, Ruth. Fantastic job. Now, don't pull for the moment, just loosen slightly, but hold on to those ends tightly. Now, are we agreed it would be quite impossible for those 2 ropes to link as they are clearly separate, yes? Good, so if I remove the rope, what I'm going to do is place the red rope into the box, place the white rope into the box. Now, what I want you to do is hold on to those ropes nice and tightly. On the count of 3, you're going to pull them out of the box. 3, 2, 1, go! And you can see, impossible! They've linked, they've melted through and linked in the middle!
Wow, the ropes have linked inside the box. It's impossible. It's mind-melting magic. It's rope-melting magic.
Remarkable! Can we have a round of applause for my volunteers?
The ropes are together and they're putting their hands together, but it's not over yet.
The last part of the mystery didn't involve 2 ropes. It actually involved just 1 piece of rope. So, this man here on the end, which piece do you prefer?
White.
The white piece. Excellent. This is the piece we'll use. So I place this through the box, just like I did with those other pieces of rope, and the box comes out the other side. Here's the next part. We use a solid metal hoop. So I'd like yourself there. Can you just have a look at the hoop? Make sure it doesn't come apart. No funny business. And then place the hoop back in my hand. Lovely. So a solid hoop and a solid piece of rope. The hoop is going to go into the box with the piece of rope. It only takes a few moments. We just let that hoop settle with that piece of rope.
Good tension building. They'll be open-mouthed in a minute.
I think now it should be done. The inexplicable, boys and girls, has happened. Somehow, that hoop has melted onto the centre of that rope. Isn't that quite remarkable, boys and girls?
The trick was inside the box, but the secret isn't out yet. Fergus showed them his puzzling box of tricks. It was empty, but the ropes mysteriously connected in the box.
Impossible!
What was going on in there?
It melted through and linked in the middle.
Coming up, will it be hoop hoop hooray when Fergus ends up inside these solid rings?
Incredible. Now, thank you.
Now John is going to set you a magical challenge in tricks of the trade. If you fancy yourself as a magician, here's a trick you can play on your mates. John is going to show you how to stop James standing up by simply using one finger. Can't be done, right? Wrong. If you can't work it out, John will point you in the right direction later. With any luck. Back to the museum, where Fergus fooled him with his hoop on a rope parlour game. And John's about to go one better, hopefully.
Another hoop game that they played was this one here, which was called hoop jumping. Now, hoop jumping used some of these things. Big, horrible metal hoops. Have a look at that one. Have a look at that one. You have a look at that one. Solid metal. Now,
Noted and verified.
you just have a look at that, Sir Alexander, and maybe that one. Now, the idea of hoop jumping was that people used to try and jump in and out of hoops.
They see where this is going, and they're happy to follow.
Now, if you're really good, you might be able to jump into 2 or 3 hoops. But the record is 10 hoops. And they used to play this game in the dark, the Victorians, right? They played a lot of games in the dark because they didn't have a lot of electricity then, and not many lights.
Not many lights, and soon they won't be able to hold a candle to Fergus's magic.
So they had to play it in the dark. And what you had to do is try to jump into these hoops. Now, Alexander here is very good at the game.
The game being magic, Alexander being Fergus.
Alexander can get into those hoops in under 10 seconds, boys and girls.
All right, mate, don't show off.
In under 10 seconds without jumping over the top. It's remarkable to see. We're going to give it a little go now, and we're going to do it in the dark, so I've got a curtain here.
John, raise expectations. It's time to raise the curtain on this trick.
So what we'll do, boys and girls, we're going to count him down from 10. We're going to see if he can do it in 10 seconds. I want you to all count with me from 10 down to 1. Are you ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Here he comes. Has he done it?
2, 1, and there he is, completely inside the hoops.
He's only gone and done it. He's gone through those hoops. It's a tight squeeze.
Incredible. Now, thank you.
The class are suitably impressed, but there's more.
The incredible thing is that Alexander here, good that he is, right, he's a good guy to work for. Alexander can get out of those hoops twice as fast as he can get in them.
Good job she's holding her head on. Her mind's about to be blown.
Alexander's going to attempt to get out of the hoops in under 5 seconds.
They don't believe it can be done. I'm not sure I do.
Under 5 seconds.
5 seconds? I've never done that before in my life,
Oh,
Jerry.
come on, sir. You'll be able to do it. Now, boys and girls, you're going to count me down.
Who does he think he is, Houdini?
Now, you ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And there he is, Alexander, completely out of the hoops. There he is. Thank you, Alexander.
Yeah, he's out of the solid hoops in one piece. Not a hair on his wig out of place.
Sit yourselves down.
Hands down, thank you.
I've got a little confession to make, you know. Now,
They've been dressed for the past, but now it's time to give this class another little present and reveal the big secret.
myself and Alexander, we don't work here, really. This is really Fergus, in case you hadn't guessed.
He's heard of Fergus.
My name is John, and we're actually magicians. And you've been set up by your teachers and your parents. And there's a camera here, and there's a camera there, and there's a camera at the back, there's a camera over there, and you're all going to appear on Help My School Trip is Magic!
The hook trick has set this class loopy. But how did they describe what they'd witnessed?
I thought it was just epic.
The trippers were cock-a-hoop when Fergus showed them his magical box of tricks.
My favourite bit of the trick was when the pieces of rope joined together and the hoop was on it.
The hoopla hoo-ha got even larger when Fergus leapt into the ring.
One, and there he is.
He got through all of those big rings and he couldn't have unscrewed them in that time, so...
He was screwing with their minds, that's for sure.
Alexander, completely out of the hoops. There he is.
At the end they said they were magicians, but I still couldn't work out how they'd managed to do it.
Magic, magic, and more magic. They didn't expect that. How long would it take for you to shout? Still to come, John will reveal a secret that will make you stand out in tricks of the trade. Have you worked it out yet? And will Catherine be brassed off if these pupils realise their school trip is magic? But first, we ask you to send in clips of yourselves performing your best magic tricks. We received loads of clips from all over the country. Each week I'll be choosing a favourite wannabe wizard and showing them to you guys. My wannabe wizard this time is Philip from Shrewsbury, and he's a magician with plenty of bottle.
Hello, I've got a trick here, and I've got a tube and a bottle in the tube. Could you just take the tube off and show your bottles?
2 balsamic vinegar bottles.
Okay, just put the bottle in your left hand, please, and then take empty tube and put it on top of the bottle. Okay, now all you have to do is do as I do. So turn it once, twice, third time, and you should end up in the same place, like...
Mum's is upside down!
You did turn it around as many times as I did.
She definitely did.
Could you just turn it so it's the right way up for me? Okay, this time let's spell out magic. Go this way up.
Both the same way up.
M-A-G-I-C, and you should end up like...
How did that happen?
You got to look. I'll turn mine so it's like yours. So look like this now. Let's turn it 4 times. Once, twice, third, and 4th time, and you should end up like this because you did.
3rd time unlucky. He's pretending he knows it's magic.
You end up like this, but you were meant to end up like this. Thank you very much.
The pleasure's all ours, sir. Here's Magician Fergus looking smart as he's about to visit an academy. He's got his pen ready, but he won't need it as the next trip is all about music. That's it now, he's ready for his next role. And the kids are ready to roll. Out of the school gates and onto the bus, ready for a day out with a difference. And this difference may not be minor, as it's gonna be magic. The only thing the kids know is they're off to the Royal Academy of Music. Founded in 1822, it trains 700 students a year. Its museum includes ancient instruments and original manuscripts from composers like Purcell, Schubert, and Mendelssohn. And it's time to compose a new look for our magicians to keep them undercover. Eccentric for Fergus, strict for Catherine. Not far away from their real personalities. Also not far away is the bus. Hope our magicians are ready for the performance of their lives.
I've never been any good at music. I'm still no good at music, so I can only hope today will go okay.
I think everything will be fine as long as everyone does as they're told.
Wow, Catherine's not going to have trouble keeping the class in check. And here they are now, ready to check out the auditorium and soak up the atmosphere. Fergus has Mozart on his mind, but it's time for magic. The kids are looking at the orchestra pit, but the best bit is coming up and they won't know what's hit them. Some last-minute fine-tuning in our magic room, and it's time for the class to take their front row seats.
Good morning, boys and girls. My name's Ronald Key, but you can call me Ron.
Ron Key? Has Fergus started on a bum note?
And I'm in charge of the historical items. So everything that you see that looks a bit old, like me, I look after those things. Now, we have loads of old musical manuscripts like this from composers such as Liszt to Schubert.
Could have been a longer list then.
And these are ancient pieces of music that are irreplaceable. So what sort of things do you think we have to protect these musical manuscripts from? Anybody?
Being sampled by Rudimental?
Have a guess, yes. Don't rip the paper, tearing.
Aha! A more sensible answer.
Yes.
Don't bite the paper.
Don't bite the paper.
Unless you're a dog whose Johann Sebastian Bach is worse than his bite.
I do that a lot. I get told off for that. Yes, at the very back. From water. Excellent. Now, water is actually the biggest problem. It's the damp. So what we've developed here at the Academy is an anti-damp solution. An anti-damp solution. And I think you'll all agree after you've seen this, it is quite incredible.
This is going to be more magic than you can handle. Handel, the composer.
So, here is some of Handel's sheet music. And as I pass through, you'll see now what we're going to do is see what happens when this music gets wet after it's been treated with the Academy's anti-damp solution.
Handel wrote water music, so only natural for Fergus to use that.
So, what's going to happen now if I pour this water into the sheets? Would it ruin the sheets? It would completely ruin the sheets, and these are irreplaceable.
Hope he knows what he's doing.
It's my responsibility to make sure these don't get ruined. But watch.
H2, oh my gosh! They can't believe it. This magic's anything but drippy.
Now, if you watch, it will almost look like the sheets have absorbed the water, right? But in actual fact, all that's happened is that water has been dispersed.
I can't believe the sheet music is bone dry.
It's been dispersed in the paper.
But where? Moved off to the second movement?
So when you want that water to come back again, if you watch, we need to remove that water, otherwise it will ruin the sheets.
Get ready to drink this in. Poor class, they don't know what's hit them. That's amazing! Water with a big hint of magic.
How incredible is that? And these are the things that protect all of our musical sheets here.
Spontaneous applause, and it's music to his ears, but they have no idea our maestro is magic. Looking like a broody Beethoven, he was hoving a laugh with his water music magic. He poured over the musical notes. The water went in, but they didn't get wet. Then the water came out, but not his secret yet. The class are thirsty for more thrills and spills.
Music with the music.
But what's that noise? Hope Catherine hasn't blown it. Now it's time for John to reveal the secret and tricks of the trade. John will show you how to stop James standing up by simply using one finger. Have you worked it out yet? Don't put your finger in his ear, John. Ugh. No, it won't work by simply putting it on his shoulder. However, if you put your finger here, right in the middle of the forehead, without using any real pressure, James, or indeed anyone else, won't be able to stand up. Your friends will be upstanding for an outstanding trick. That is, of course, if you don't put the finger on their forehead. It's time for another movement at the Academy of Music. So far, this school trip's been anything but dry, and the pupils don't realise it's magic. But there will be something funny about Catherine's symphony.
Good afternoon, class. My name is Claire Annette Reid.
Clarinet Reid. Sounds like Clarinet Reid, for which read Catherine's little joke.
And I'm a symphony conductor.
She's about to conduct some musical magic.
Although recently I've been travelling around the country working with a lot of brass bands, can anyone tell me an instrument that is a brass instrument? Any ideas?
A trombone.
Excellent. Any other brass instrument? Yes.
Piano.
Not a piano. I'll tell you what you have to have a brass instrument. First of all, it has to be made from brass. And secondly, we make the sound with the instrument using the vibrations of our mouth. Ron, could you just demonstrate that for us, please?
That's Fergus's level right there.
In fact, I'd like us all to have a go with that, please.
They can't wait to get involved.
Purse your lips together and blow. OK, enough now, thank you. That's very good.
Passing wind has never sounded so tuneful.
Now, behind me, we have our music cabinet, which we keep some of our brass instruments in.
They're coming right up.
We've got some of the instruments which were mentioned earlier. Ron, would you mind just passing one of those out for me? Thank you. Can anyone tell me what this is? It's called a bugle, this one.
I love a toasted bugle. Bagel.
Yeah. And Ron, could you pass me out another one, please? What is this one? Very good. It's a pocket trumpet. Excellent. So this is our pocket trumpet.
Have to have a big pocket, though.
Here as well. And this is a beautiful one. Can anyone tell me what this one is called? Yes.
French horn.
A French horn. Excellent.
I love a cream horn myself.
French horn. And then finally, this is my favourite. I love this. It's called the tuba. It's very heavy, the tuba, so we're going to leave that in there.
Too bad you couldn't get the tuba out. That's a real blow. Ah, well.
The doors back up again. That's brilliant. Now, class, can anyone else tell me, if we've got a brass band, what else do we need to make it all work and come together? Yes.
There's an old expression, where there's muck, there's brass. But where there's brass, is there magic?
What we also need, we need the musicians to play the instruments, which is very important. And can anyone tell me what else we might need in a band? A conductor, excellent. That's my job. I conduct all the brass band together so we can make some fantastic music with the musicians.
That was my rumbling stomach. Nope, definitely not me. I saw them jump in the room.
Did you hear that? That sounds like a tuba player.
It's coming from inside the cabinet, but it was empty. I know this tune, but where do I recognise it from? It's our theme tune. And now my earworm.
Wow! That was amazing.
It was amazing. Where did he come from? Other than the academy, of course, where he's a talented student.
But I have a confession, everyone. This is a real tuba player, but I'm not really a conductor. In fact, I'm not even a semi-conductor.
John learnt her that one.
My name's not Mrs. Reid, it's Catherine.
And I'm actually called Fergus.
It's all building to a crescendo.
And you've all been set up by your teachers and your parents, and you're being filmed right now. There's a camera over there, there's a camera over there, and over there. You're going to be on CBBC. Help, my school trip is magic!
A well-orchestrated trick by Catherine and Fergus with plenty of oompa oomph. But how did the class chart its success?
It was really, weird. It was really, impossible.
Nothing's impossible when Catherine's involved. She presented instruments from inside this otherwise empty cabinet.
There was nothing in there because they opened the box and there was nothing behind.
It looked normal but sounded strange.
Music with the musician.
He wasn't there, and then he just teleported in there somehow and started playing.
An academy student suddenly appeared playing the tuba.
We all just started shaking and we were like, how did he do that? How did he do that?
I want to know too, mate, but Catherine will not tell me. All I do know is this school trip featured a catchy trick. That's nothing. But I can play the tuba. Tuba toothpaste. See you later. But until then, if you're on a school trip and you think something magic's going on, maybe you'll find yourself shouting, "Help! My school trip is magic!"